Imagine this. It's 2 years from now. The market is buzzing again, and your phone won't stop lighting up. Ding! A text from an investor friend. Did you see that duplex on Main? 12 offers in 2 days. Then you click on another property that you toured last year. Same place, same photos. Now only the price tag is $60,000 higher. And it's already under contract. And then your stomach sinks because you remember sitting in this exact same spot in your living room last year thinking, if rates were lower, I'd buy it. And you told yourself, I'm just gonna wait till the market gets better. But now the better market is here and everything is freaking chaos. Prices are climbing like wildfire. The competition is brutal. And the quiet, slow days when the sellers were willing to negotiate, those are over. Because here's the truth that most every investor knows. The best deals don't happen when the market is good. They happen when everyone is frozen in fear and afraid to buy anything. And right now, with rates in the 7% range, that's exactly the market that we are in right now. And if you know how to buy right, you can cash flow today with today's interest rates. And when you do, you won't just get in cheaper. You'll be the one that's sitting with bigger equity gains, higher rents, and a portfolio that's paying you month after month while everybody else is sitting on the sidelines waiting for rates to go down. Hi, my name is Franchini with Brick by Brick Wealth, and I teach aspiring real estate investors every single day how to buy smart with long-term rental properties. I built my own 7-figure long-term rental portfolio with just a handful of rental properties, all while raising 3 kids on a single income provided for by my husband and without chasing flashy, get-rich-quick real estate schemes. Today, I'm going to give you 8 proven ways to cash flow in a high interest rate market. I'm going to give you the strategies I use, the strategies I teach my students, and the strategies that you can start using today to set yourself up for big wins. Let's go. Let's be real. Most people right now are sitting on the sidelines because they are just scared to go all in. Interest rates are high, and they're running their numbers based only on the asking prices in mediocre markets, and then throwing their hands up and saying, see, there's no cash flow. But here's the thing. Cash flow doesn't just come from a magical interest rate. It comes from buying right. It comes from the markets you choose, the terms you negotiate, and the way you operate the property. So if you stick to quality markets, the kinds that appreciate over time, you'll set yourself up for higher rents and bigger gains in the future. The crappy markets, you can't raise the rent there. They don't appreciate. And over time, your cash flow just goes right into the negative. And that's why this list today really matters. Because every strategy we're going to talk about today is designed to work today and pay off bigger tomorrow. All right, number 1, buy under market value. This is rule number 1 in any type of real estate market, but especially when interest rates are high. If you overpay, you're locking in higher monthly payments that could eventually crush your cash flow. So instead, you should try targeting motivated sellers. And in today's market, there are plenty of them. Think tired landlords, off-market deals, vacant properties, and especially listings that have been sitting for months. Because sellers like this are already willing to list their property in a high interest rate market, in a tough market for them where it's mostly a buyer's market. They're more willing to accept offers below asking, more willing to offer concessions, more willing to even do repairs on the property prior to closing. And here's something that I tell my students all the time. Don't be afraid to make an offer lower than asking price. Don't be afraid to make an offer that you think might be a little insulting. Because what's the worst that can happen? They say no. What's the best that can happen? They say yes or even counter. I have had deals where the seller says flat out no at first. And then they come back a week or a couple weeks or even a month later willing to sign on the dotted line. Buying under market value gives you instant equity. And equity is what protects you if the market shifts or even if you need to refinance later on. And if you want to know what types of properties will eat your cash flow, you'll definitely gonna want to watch this video that I did called Never Buy These Houses for Real Estate Investments. I'll put the link in the description below. Okay, number 2 is increase the rental income. You can't always control the interest rate, but you can control the rent to a degree. Even small targeted upgrades in your property can dramatically increase the rent. Think adding an in-unit laundry or removing the washer and dryer from the kitchen and putting it in its own dedicated space, updating the kitchens and the bathrooms, fencing in the yard so you can allow pets and charge pet rent, even creating parking spaces if you have a multifamily. One of my favorite ways to increase rent without breaking the bank and take note of this, is to convert a 2-bedroom house into a 3-bedroom house or a 3-bedroom house into a 4-bedroom house. You get the idea. The easiest way to do that is to look for properties that have 2 formal dining rooms or 2 formal living rooms. Those aren't needed, and a lot of times they already come with a window and an entry into a hallway or a shared space like a living room area, and you can just put up a wall for $2,500 and add a door. That extra bedroom will increase your equity in your property, $20,000 to $30,000, and increase your rent $100 and $200 a month. Not too long ago, my husband and I took a property from a $1,400 a month rental property to a nearly $1,800 a month rental property by making it pet friendly, moving the laundry hookups to its own dedicated space, and freshening up the kitchen with new cabinet doors and new countertops. These types of improvements don't just make your rent higher, they also get your tenants to stay longer, and that is key for cash flow in today's market. Number 3, you can house hack or do a multifamily. If you're just starting out in the real estate investing world and these interest rates are just way too intimidating, house hacking can be your best friend. You live in one unit if you have a multifamily and rent out the other units. Or if you have a single family home, you live in one room and you rent out the other rooms to other people. This type of housing strategy, house hacking, can dramatically reduce your living expenses, allowing you to save up more money faster without all your income going to your mortgage payment. Plus, as an owner-occupant, you can access better loans, better loan terms, and better interest rates. Imagine paying 6% instead of 7.5% for interest rate, just because you agree to live in the property for a year. That difference alone can make your property cash flow. Number 4, use seller financing to beat these high interest rates. High interest rates are only a problem if you have to take a bank loan. But with seller financing, you don't have to go through a bank at all. Because with seller financing, the seller becomes the lender. It's all negotiable. Instead of you borrowing from the bank, you make payments directly to the seller. This does work best when the seller owns a property free and clear and does not have a loan. You might be asking, well, why would a seller agree to seller financing? Wouldn't they want their big lump sum, the big sale of their house in one check? Not necessarily. Some sellers want to avoid a big capital gains tax bill, and they're willing to just sell little portions of their property at a time. Other people, especially old landlords, like the idea of getting a check every month. So with seller financing, they're still receiving a paycheck every month, but they don't have to deal with the headaches of becoming a landlord. And in today's slow market where sellers are having a hard time getting their property sold, seller financing might just be the only way that they can sell their property. This is an example of how a seller financing deal might look. Let's say a seller owns a property free and clear, right? They own it outright. They have no loans with the bank. You and the seller agree on a purchase price of $250,000. But instead of going to the bank, the seller offers to finance you the property at 5% interest, which is more than he would get at even a high yield savings account, but less than you'd have to pay a bank, and you agree on a loan term of 20 years. So now you're paying 5% instead of maybe 7.5%, which could be the difference between you barely breaking even and you making a few $100s a month in positive cash flow. The key to seller financing is making the deal a win-win situation. There has to be a win for the seller and there has to be a win for you. The seller gets monthly income, often at a better interest rate than they can get at a traditional bank, and you get better loan terms with the seller than the bank is willing to give you. One tip to note here is that seller financing isn't always advertised, and if with a little bit of research, you can find out how much a seller owes on the property, if they owe anything at all, and if they would be a good candidate for seller financing. A lot of sellers don't understand seller financing, they don't even know what it is or how it works, and you could be the one, as a buyer, to explain to them how this could be an amazing win-win opportunity for the both of you. Number 5 is target cold real estate markets. This is where I see most investors miss opportunities. Because when a market cools down and properties aren't selling, buyers get nervous and they don't want to buy anything. And they just sit and they wait. Well, it's not a good time to buy. And that is the exact wrong thing to say. It is the best time to buy. When there is nobody buying, when there is no competition, when you can get amazing deals from the seller. The key though is knowing where those cold markets are. And there are some tools that make it really simple. First one is Realtor.com. Did you know that Realtor.com now has a lot of pretty cool features on their app and even on their web-based platform? They have a hot and cold map that tells you exactly where the hot and cold markets are. These types of websites are gold for showing you where to target cold sellers in cold markets. And once you find these markets, please don't just run your offers on asking price. Run them based on your offer price. What makes sense to you to make money in the deal? Remember, a property is only worth what a buyer is willing to pay. And in cold real estate markets, that price can be way below list price. In these situations where sellers are having a hard time getting buyers, you can negotiate things that aren't normally possible. When competition is like that crazy, you can negotiate a lower purchase price. You can negotiate the amount of seller credits towards closing costs. You can negotiate on what repairs a seller is going to make for you and pay to get that done before closing. And you can negotiate on favorable terms like a closing extension or even early possession. All of these things help in a high interest rate environment. And doing things like seller financing can help you boost your cash flow from day one. Cold markets definitely are not something to avoid. They are the perfect environment for you to get deals done. Number 6 is get creative. Think about it. Not every rental property has to be a standard 12-month lease. You could consider something like midterm rentals. Cater towards those traveling nurses or those insurance companies where they have to house people because their house has been burned down or flooded. Even corporate relocations. Midterm rentals can bring 20 to 50% more rent than a long-term rental. And in high interest rate markets like we're in today, that can make a big difference. Number 7, put more money down to lower the loan amount. I know, that's not the most exciting advice, but it's still advice that works. If you have the cash, putting more than 20% down can instantly drop your mortgage payment and help you cash flow. Remember, you want to think of all the options when it comes to high interest rate markets. How can you get your property to cash flow? If it's a quality area with amazing tenants that you know is going to appreciate over time, if you put a little bit more money down and you can cash flow, that is amazing. When interest rates do go down, you can always refinance, get that lower rate, and really increase your cash flow. And this brings us to number 8, which is the refinance later strategy. Buy a property that works today at today's rates and treat any future refinance as a bonus. But remember, even if you plan on refinancing in the future, in my opinion, you still absolutely 110% need to cash flow at your current interest rate, at your current purchase price. If you plan to buy a property today and it's negative cash flowing with the hope that you're going to refinance in the future just to get positive cash flow, you're really setting yourself up for failure. You're gambling on the future. What if interest rates don't go down? What if they get even higher? You don't want to put yourself in a bad financial place because you are hoping and praying that rates would go down and you bought a property that didn't cash flow at all. And this is where the cake method comes in. Because when you buy a property in an appreciating market, with quality tenants, a place where there's always demand for rentals, your rents and property values will go up over time. That means when you do refinance, you're not just lowering the payment. You're doing it all from a property that's worth more and is going to bring you in even more income. If you're not sure what the cake method is, I have a masterclass down there in the description box below. Using the cake method is the best way to buy properties that cash flow and appreciate. And remember, the difference between a positive and a negative cash flow isn't just the interest rate. It's the market you choose, the deal you negotiate, and how you operate your property. If you found this video helpful, please do all the things: like, comment, subscribe, say hi in the comments below. Your support really helps the YouTube algorithm push my video out to more people and makes all this worth it. And until next time, keep building your wealth brick by brick.